Welcome to WNL Sports Weekly. I'm Jeremy Franklin. This week we'll speak with riding coach Gordon Reistrup, men's lacrosse captain Jack Switala, and baseball captain Will Salley. But first, a quick look back at the weekend in Washington in the athletics. Women's track and field placed second at the ODAC Indoor Championships in Lynchburg, finishing just 2 points behind first place Roanoke. The men's team came in fifth at the meet. Men's lacrosse picked up its second straight road win over a top 10 opponent, downing Denison 8-7 in Granville, Ohio. Women's lacrosse dropped a 9-8 decision on the road to Christopher Newport. Wrestling finished 8th at the Centennial Conference Championship, and baseball split a home doubleheader with Alvernia. And the riding team competed in 3 events, placing second at Hollins, 5th at Virginia, and 6th at the IHSA Regionals. With me now is riding coach Gordon Reistrup. Gordon, welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
How has the season gone so far for Washington and Lee?
We've actually had a very good season this year. Even though we ended up 6th in the region, it was by 1 point shy of Hollins. And the point spread, as compared to previous years, has been much closer, much tighter. We've had a lot of strength with some of the younger riders. So it's been a good season. Been happy with it.
You mentioned the younger riders contributing. Tell us about what your underclassmen have done.
We've had several underclassmen and first-year sophomore riders this year contribute quite a few wins to our season. Laura Lemon is just shy of qualifying out of the intermediate flat division, so she'll be able to start us off next year. She's a freshman. Rachel Christensen, a walk track canter rider, is a new rider this year. She has been very reliable in that division. As well, Sarah Cook from Sewickley, Pennsylvania, is our intermediate over fences rider and has brought points home every single time, and is also on the verge of qualifying out. So we'll have some of that carry over to next season, which will be very helpful, and then they'll get qualified and move up to the next level.
What are your expectations for the ODAC Championship coming up in April?
I think ODAC's, after looking at how the season has gone, I think we probably will put our best team forward that we have, I think, possibly ever had. Really, really strong. We're looking forward to it. We have a couple horses that we know we're using, and we're still on the hunt for a couple others to fill in the roster for the horses, and I think we will have a good shot at Sweetbriar.
What's in store for WNL at the Collegiate Cup this weekend?
Collegiate Cup, again, we have some of our ODAC riders are competing in the Collegiate Cup, and we're posting 2 teams. I think we, again, probably have a good chance at Collegiate Cup. One thing to keep in mind is it is a subjectively judged athletic event, so something, may go your way. Sometimes it doesn't go your way, but I think we have a good shot there too. It's on Saturday night at 7. And I know that some of the girls are rallying troops and friends together, so we have a big WNL cheering section, so hopefully everybody will come out for that.
Gordon, thanks for being here. Best of luck the rest of the season.
Thanks very much.
With me now is Will Salley, senior baseball captain from Augusta, Georgia. Will, welcome back to the show. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
WNL is 5-3 so far. You've picked up wins against teams that were in the NCAAs last year in Emory and Alvernia. Overall, how have the Generals performed during the first 2 weeks of the season?
I think we've played pretty well so far this season. We're happy at 5-3, but we know that we could be better. Each of our losses have been in close games, and we know that we can put ourselves in position to win against anybody. One big confidence boost for us early on was getting a win in Atlanta. We've been down to Atlanta each of the past 4 seasons over Washington break, and it's the first time we've gotten a win down there. We've put a lot of work in the offseason and preseason, and as a result, we're playing pretty well.
Coach Stickley has had to shuffle around the lineup quite a bit this year, some minor injuries here and there. Once things settle out, once you get healthy, what can the Generals accomplish at the plate?
I think our offense can be really dangerous this season. We may be shuffled around from time to time, but I think that we're confident we can produce regardless of where we are in the order. Last season we had some trouble getting guys on base and getting hits when we needed them most. This season so far, we've had great success getting guys on base, and all we have to worry about now, just as almost any team, is getting the hits in clutch situations, especially with 2 outs. Ultimately, I think experience with multiple seniors in our lineup is going to carry us this season.
What are your expectations for the WNL pitching staff this year?
Well, obviously we lost a lot of innings from last year, but we have some guys who are fully capable of stepping in and filling in those innings this year. The staff will be led by Ian and Nate as they stepped into their starting roles toward the end of last year. Beyond that, they will rely on guys like Jake Rudolph, Eric Gosatsky, Matt Hedberg, and other guys to solidify the staff. And I think that they're ready. Those guys are going to have to step up time and time again for us, and I think they're ready to do that. They work hard, and they're going to do everything that they can to keep us in games.
Starting with the Lynchburg doubleheader on Saturday, you've got 5 big ODAC games in a 1-week span. How important is it to get off to a good start in conference play?
These games are huge for us this week. We have, like you said, we have 5 games in the ODAC, and all 5 of these games are against teams that are typically at the top of the conference. We're excited because we know that in order to be considered the best in the conference, we have to beat the best in the conference. So that starts with Lynchburg on Saturday.
Well, thanks again for joining us. Good luck this year.
Thanks, Jeremy.
With me now is Jack Switala, senior lacrosse captain from Lloyd Harbor, New York. Jack, welcome to the show.
It's good to be here. Thanks for having me.
You had the double overtime win at Salisbury, you then went to Denison, beat another top 10 team on the road. Give us a sense of what the last week has been like for Washington and Lee.
I think it's been just an absolute blast. It's been a lot of fun for our team. I've never seen our team be so focused, so intense, so intent on winning, but at the same time enjoy the process so much and have so much fun together, play with that much excitement. So that's kind of where we've been at, and we've been really enjoying it, having a lot of fun.
Those 2 victories came during a winter break, and I know you stayed on the road the entire time, about 6 days together as a team. Even outside of beating 2 top 10 clubs, how can that time that you spent together on the road benefit W&L as the season goes along?
Sure, that was huge for us, for our confidence. If I had to circle 2 games that I was most concerned about prior, going into the season, I would have circled Denison and Salisbury. So to be able to go on the road, spend all of that time together as a team, just kind of eating, sleeping, playing lacrosse together was huge. And those wins were huge for our confidence. To do it and to beat those 2 teams in a span of 4 or 5 days was huge for our team.
W&L went from unranked to 9th in the latest Division III coaches poll. I know it's still February, but what does the top 10 ranking mean to the team?
Sure, it's nice to get that recognition, but I don't think we're paying too much attention to the rankings. Really, it's so early on. I think if anything, it draws our attention to the polls, and in those polls, you'll see Lynchburg ranked 3. We have to play them. We'll probably play them twice this year. Washington College, we have this weekend. They're ranked 13th. Roanoke is 16th in those polls, and F&M is just outside the top 20, and they're a much better team than that. So I don't think we're paying too much attention to our ranking, but in terms of our strength of schedule, there's a lot of good teams we still have left to play.
What do the Generals need to do to maintain this level of play throughout the season?
I think we need to just keep working really, really hard. We know that it's so early on. Everyone else is just going to keep getting better. Like I mentioned, Roanoke and Lynchburg, those teams will keep improving. If we can stay focused and continue to work on the little things, such as our 6-on-6 offense and in our clearing game, I think we'll be in good shape. And that said, of course, you've always got to stay healthy. And it'd be nice to get some guys back like Jared Mitchell, Cam Lewis, hopefully in the coming weeks. Those guys are big parts of our team. So I think those are kind of the keys to success for us going forward.
Jack, thanks again for being here. Best of luck the rest of the year.
Thanks for having me.
It's time now for a look at the upcoming weekend. The riding team will take part in the Virginia Intermont Classic and Collegiate Cup, with competition running from Thursday through Sunday. Women's tennis travels to Greencastle, Indiana for the ITA National Indoor Championships, which begin on Friday. On Saturday, wrestling heads to Gettysburg for the NCAA East Regional. Women's track and field will compete in the Virginia Tech Last Chance meet, while baseball opens up ODAC play with a home doubleheader against Lynchburg. Women's lacrosse plays host to Franklin and Marshall, and the men's team travels to Washington College. In ODAC tennis action, the men visit Guilford on Saturday, while the women play at Sweetbriar on Sunday. For W&L Sports Weekly, I'm Jeremy Franklin. Thanks for watching.